Alright everybody, I think you guys can hear me. We're here at Hilltop Park, and well, I was supposed to have a press conference with the mayor, and that didn't happen. So we've moved locations to turn up my headset. Sorry. We've moved locations to highlight other parts of Chula Vista and recent meetings we've been to. So, welcome again, everybody. Chula Vista Live Data. Right now, we're at Hilltop Park, right across the street from Hilltop Middle, and we'll get into why we came here today. Just give me 1 second. All right. So we'll take a pan on this fence. Everybody knows that little entrance area. We're gonna take a walk, just setting up and trying to get my thoughts together. Had one of the the drivers come in, so I wanted to get his truck. So that was like the opening scene, I hope. All right, so let's get started with the press conference. And this is the email coming in. The press conference will be postponed to a later date. Statement below by John McCann. We are proud to have FC Bayern. You're gonna have to Bayern Munich, one of the world's premier soccer organizations, choose Chula Vista as the home for launching its first U.S. academy. This partnership reflects years of relationship building, trust, and a shared commitment to developing athletes at the highest level. The Chula Vista campus, which prepares Olympic and Paralympic athletes for Team USA, will now help develop next generation of elite football talent. There is nothing else like it anywhere in the world. The Chula Vista Elite Athletic Training Center is where the world's best come to train, and now it will help develop the next generation of professional football players. This is a major milestone for our city and just the beginning. So that was received at 12:36. The press conference was scheduled for 1 o'clock. So just like any good person, I leave early, right? And so I'm on the road at 12:30. Email comes in. I completely miss it, you know? What am I supposed to say? So this is Chula Vista vehicle. So we'll get into the other reasons why we're here today. But as far as the press conference, sorry, Mayor. If you cancel, you cancel, you know? Especially the time matters. So Let's go ahead and see if we could move location and get a better angle of this truck inside. So, we are at this location specifically because the measure, oh, I better get this right. Here's my phone. The tax committee, I'm looking it up. Give me 1 second here. So, it's the measure P, right? Yeah, measure P, commission. It's COC, so they say commission members, then they say measure P oversight committee, and then see members of the committee. So the board, I mean, these are all like words that they interchange, right? And I'm supposed to use the correct definition. Okay. So anyways, the Measure P Oversight Committee, they recently had a meeting, and at their meeting, I'm going to the meeting because it's just easier. These are 2025. But this park and the renovations that are coming from this park are being paid for by Measure P, right? And so the funding can continue to, I say, increase because of I don't know if it's design, it's planning, ideas, right? So I'm going to show you an example. Because regardless of the Measure P meeting, there's the physical infrastructure, which we can sit here and look at. So specifically right here in this section, you can see where it transitions from rock to what was the old drainage. And on the other side of the park, when this happens with the rocks, it causes flooding. So from what it looks like to me, the water's having trouble getting through all these rocks, and it's becoming a higher level at this point anyways. Whether that's on purpose or not on purpose, we're gonna find out, right? It's not always clear where they're going with some of these projects, because like I said, some of this stuff just doesn't make any sense. Like, we've never had like hard rocks, big rocks here. We've had like concrete slab and a bunch of trees along the side here. And it didn't really ever flood in this section. The flooding section is beyond the curve. So you go beyond that curve right there, and from what it looks like to me, it's the same drainage, like the same material that was there before. But in the location I'm at the bridge, let's see if we can. You can see the water level is like higher significantly. And now I'm going the opposite way of what I just did. So let me go up. Okay. So then we look at areas like this where you can see the original concrete path. We call it the drainage ditch or the sewage drain, or it's probably 100 words for it, but it's concrete concave units that all link together, and then it forms like a canal, right? And so you can see where they've cut out that, right? And then now, instead of it not eroding, it's gonna erode all underneath the rocks. And then that's just gonna do what it's doing right here, where it's just getting caught. And so instead of it flooding only over there, it's gonna flood right here. I mean, unless the whole point was to flood the park. I don't know these things. I'm just observing what they're doing, right? And from my perspective, I live around here, so I know this park pretty well. And the water size right here at the bottom never used to be that thick across. Like, you had a chance of slipping in it, but now you're gonna have a chance of just falling and hitting your head on rocks. I mean, sure, the beaches are just the same, but the problem of the flooding, I don't think is gonna stop here. It's just gonna, when it comes out of that storm drain right there, right, all the particulates, all the trash, everything's now gonna get caught right here. Like, they're gonna change that? They're not gonna change that. So, you know, this is really regardless of the workers doing their work or the people here contributing. But yeah, I mean, when you see a bad plan, you kind of gotta say something. And I've never seen anybody come out here and actually point out the reasons why they think this might be a bad idea. I mean, before it was no erosion, right? It was on a concrete pad just coming through slickly. And then we'd have the kids pile in the rocks, and then it would cause it to flood. And then now we got the city putting a bunch of rocks in there like kids. And they don't think it's gonna flood? Like I said, I don't quite understand the logic. Because this is the higher point, right? So, you know, underneath the bridge, I'm sure it just looks the same. Okay. I mean, this is how it looks. For the majority of the run, right? It's not even like straight. It goes a slight angle and then just hard chutes with rocks that are piled up right there. And so all this water depth is a lot more than that. And the sewage or the absorption into the dirt is obviously going to be a different rate now, which, you know, hey, I don't think this was ever a natural river. I think it's a flood channel, which, you know, in its own way is. But, you know, when I'm going from that one to this one, and then what are you trying to say? You're just trying to water all the plants with the runoff? I mean, is that like the best case scenario from doing it this way? I don't know. So I'm here showing you guys, right? Um, yeah, I got questions all over the place. And so if the Measure P funds can't be spent but on infrastructure like this or other projects like this, then do they use the infrastructure projects to then drain the funds, right? Because it can't be used for anything else, supposedly. We're gonna walk in a little bit here and show you guys like the kids area and then the way to the dog park. So let me pull you guys from the rig and we'll get into walking mode. I'm just gonna hang you guys by my hip. I only got so many hands too. How's it going? Good? So some of the reasons why we bring this up is obviously there was a completion date, and it's been changed. So they made a whole sign to set a project end time to then change it. And so, like I said, this is interesting because of the funding of the project and the fact that it comes from a special fund that was originally estimated and put at a certain cost to do the project, and then it's coming back for further extensions on the project. So, you know, that's why you have, instead of the completion date, I mean, yes, it does say estimated, but, you know, the city of Chula Vista made the sign, not the contractor. So, it's where you can email about it. One thing I wanted to show you guys while we're over here. And then I'm gonna drop you guys down again and take a little walk over here. Keep out a drainage channel. So this is just beyond the bend that we saw from the bridge. And, you know, during 2020, they would try and shut down this play area. And the locals would come out here and rip off all the things that they would shut down. So let that one be a lesson to the city. I even told the workers, you don't get paid enough to argue with me about this. I just told them, just know we're gonna do it every time, and they stopped because it's just a waste. And so you can kind of see there's the channel that still goes through, and way down there, I don't know, maybe I'll end the stream and then I'll go down to the other side when I would drive away, and I'll pop down there real quick and take some photos of that area. But as you can see, the guy's trucking down there. It's a little out of focus, but we are zoomed quite a way. So anyways, the main point was so that way you guys know where the funding source comes from, and something to look into when contractors know that the fund is excessive in funds, and then they can extract more tax funds out of that fund directly through their project, compared to another project that was like voted on and passed through different arrangements. When they do the Measure P funding, it went to the commission or the committee or whatever board, the members, and if you ask me, there isn't too much oversight as if the fund is being used correctly or in a timely way. It's more of a formality thing where they show you a budget, just line items, not itemized, and expect you to understand the daily operations. So with some of the suggestions to the city this year, we're going to be suggesting ways for them to have, you know, key indicators that could be tracked for projects like this, right? And then the public is also then involved, instead of like right now where you don't know where the project's phase is at, you don't really know. So I think there's a more transparent way that they could be showing these they could even show rain schedules and stuff to make it make sense. There's a lot of data out there. I mean, they're spending all the money anyways. So what's the hurt to add a public dashboard to projects? I mean, we're spending 400 or 250,000 on a consultant. Spending 500 grand on a consultant. I mean, we're over $500,000 just in consulting fees. So, but anyways, so here's the kids area, and then the bathrooms are behind me. There's a couple of benches, and then in the far distance where that truck is, a little bit beyond that, is like the dog area. So, I mean, it's a nice little park. There's still usable space. I'm not gonna sit here and say there isn't, but at the same time, I think it comes down to the duration of project, the scope of the project, and then key indicators to show the public where the project's at. Because, I mean, like I said, some of this stuff, they're just gonna have more flooding. Like, we have a problem with the kids throwing rocks in there, and then the adults threw big rocks in there. So, you know, but you gotta create a problem to create a job, you know? This is one of the busier days. There's like an operator out there in the distance, but like some days we'll come over here and there's no one here. There's no one working. Everybody's just on another job site or whatever. Like I said, some of this isn't even to call out the contractors for delays or whatnot. It's we went to the Parks and Recs meeting and they had a representative come and speak to the public about it. You know, in some of the meetings, it's hard to know what's. So they say something, but they don't produce any documents. So we'll have this whole conversation, but there's no documents for the public to then share with each other. You have to share the audio or share the video. So in many ways, you know, sharing of documents just for the public to see them, I mean, show up to a meeting and you just verbalize a bunch of stuff, that's great, but it doesn't share information. Look, we got another truck over here coming down the hill. So now that we're pointing this way, we'll walk back this way after we see this guy back in. When I originally came here and did some footage a couple months ago, there was no transparency holes. I don't know if that's what they call these things, but that's what I call them. It was all done up and you couldn't see through anything, you know. I know, you figure if you take a public job, you're gonna be in the public, dude. You better make it as public as possible. All right, I guess they're done moving. So we're gonna zoom out, take you guys for another little walk here, and then we'll cover something else that I find interesting. So everybody knows that that's Hilltop Middle School right there, right? And all the parents line up and pick up their kids from here, right? So that's what I always hear is, you know, it's always backed up right here. No parking lane, and they park in it, but whatever, that's not the point. The point is, all right. Do you see that? It's like a solar panel, and well, I mean, we might as well walk up to it, right? Might as well. But so just to give a little intro on that, the corner of Telegraph Canyon and Hilltop Drive, there's a flock camera. And so the concern for everybody in the neighborhood is that they're being tracked at school and all these other things, right? And so in multiple interpretations, you have one community that's protected from these cameras. There are some crimes that those cameras can't solve, but those cameras are being enforced on local residents. And every time you come here to pick up your kid from school, you're then being tracked. So we've been auditing the data for over the past year. There's been some irregularities that we will be pointing out. Probably at the next PD meeting. But you got to understand, the camera's already here, right? They're already right there. There's just select people who those cameras don't get enforced on. And so you can say it whatever way you want to say it. They're being used to do immigration. No, they're being used only on citizens. And the outcome is still the same. They're targeting individuals with the surveillance state, right? And these are just daily items of their arsenal, right? And so they have like they can see me right now. I'm sure they can. And so we're gonna walk up to the flock camera and I'll just show you guys. But they're all over the city. So if you see cameras like this, that's what they are. I'm gonna go mobile and drop off my tripod real quick. So. Having some car issues, so driving around the secondary vehicle. Sorry, it's a little jittery. We're gonna go for a walk. Fuck, go. But yeah, so this whole side goes across to that little gate. Zoom you guys out, I guess. So here's the, I don't know, probably fence works. So these ones right here, those are flock cameras. So if we stand out here and just record everybody, right? Is that nobody gonna care about that? So we just stand here for 30 minutes. Everybody's gonna feel comfortable. We'll point it the same direction. So that way we're just Does anyone care? Look, we'll get his license plate. Right there. It's weird that truck doesn't have any license plate. Like I said, it's all just public information. Everybody's just recording everybody, right? You know, I got your license plate right there, though. My arm gets tired holding it up that high. Look, we got advertisements. I at least got to hold it up enough so it looks like I'm recording. Everybody just smiles. Look, here's the city. Everybody's just smiling. You think they would look if it was just the flock camera here? How's it going? I don't know, everybody seems cool with it. We're trying to simulate a flock camera. Just one that you could move. So they'll get that way, I'll get this way. You think they know there's a flock camera? The camera.
They probably don't realize that.
I'm just trying to bring awareness to it.
Yeah.
They look at me and I go, look at that one.
Yeah, yeah, they know exactly where you're at any
Right.
point. Yeah.
Right. We're live streaming too, so they know exactly where I am.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's just
But this is for reading the license plates.
right.
Not
Well, I mean, it takes pictures of everything.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Well, I'm assuming, or I read somewhere that they wanted to read the license plates in particular, not for everything, but
right.
I wouldn't really know.
In different jurisdictions, they have different rules. So some of the cameras were compromised and they were open to the public. A story came out about it. They denied it, you know, same thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm a computer guy, so I just raise awareness to, if you pull out your phone, it's probably got a hotspot or something for a remote connection. So it definitely has some sort of flaw in it.
Most likely.
You know, it's an old phone, it's a whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
This guy dropping off, he was pretty cool about the camera, so trying to highlight his business. But yeah, so I do news stuff, right? Chula Vista News.
Independent? Or?
Yeah, ChulaVistaLiveData.com.
Okay.
And
do you know anything about the...
Well, that's what we're here covering today. So this is funded by Measure P.
Okay.
And so my hypothesis is because it's funded by a tax fund that has excess funds, that they're trying to draw this project out for every, you know, penny that they can get from it.
It looks like it.
But
they're doing a good job.
But if you know from the residents' complaints before, it was rocks in the valley that were causing the you know, flooding. And so what did they do? They put a whole bunch of rocks in there. So when I judge the job, I have to judge it for what it is, right? And so I just don't agree with the fix. I think it's going to cause more problems.
They're removing the rocks now.
Right.
Did you see that?
I didn't. I'm going to the other side right now.
Right. Well, this truck that just went by is full of the rocks that
they were pulling out.
Yeah, they're pulling out the rocks now.
Right. So when the person who bids the job makes a mistake, we should all pay for it, right?
We pay for it, yeah.
And so that's just what we're here to do, is just highlight the transparency of it and then the funding of it. And if people have concerns, tell them the meeting they can go to get those concerns heard, whether it's Parks and Rec or the Measure P committee oversight.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate you're very well informed. You obviously live around here like I do. I just live on the other side.
I see.
So,
what's your name?
Robert.
Robert. Nice to meet you, Robert.
Nice to meet you.
Hey,
pleasure.
What's the name of the news channel?
It's Chula Vista Live Data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Robert.
Have a good day. Give him his safety net to walk across the street. Alright, you guys. I think we've made our point here. We talked to someone. I mean, like I said, just standing out here turning a camera on everybody. So we're gonna head back now. That's the look at the flock camera. We got more parks people coming in. Yeah. You always walk up on a gem. I mean, unless there's there sure is a lot of Chula Vista workers. CVPD stopping by. They don't like us talking about their flock cameras. Just don't do that if you're one of us. You know what I mean? Like, definitely don't do that if you're one of us. Look, the CVPD went running away. They were like, no, we're not gonna give them a ticket. This is the site to be. We got management. We got every executive there is. How long do you think it took them to put in those rocks?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I mean, we just maintain the park. You know, I don't know what's the agreement and everything.
No, I know. I was just asking you because you work here. You know.
Yeah, no.
I figure you probably see.
Yeah, I know.
You know, 3 months.
They just transferred me. You know, like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I was in another crew, and it was this situation.
Yeah.
So I'm just, you know, whatever
That's
they
cool,
want
man.
to do, it's part of the city and the agreement with the contractor, you know. But
yeah. Well, that's the best thing you can do is just advise people who to talk to, right?
Yeah, no, I
So
gotcha.
I just, like I said, I ask comment from some people that I think aren't involved, but just are like doing their job, you know. I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble.
No, definitely not. Definitely not, you know.
Because I gotta go to the other side now because one of the residents told me that they're pulling out the rocks. And so I don't know what's true, what's not true. I have to look at it.
I just barely see it, you know, because we was off, you know, for the weekend, you know.
Right.
I mean, like, they barely started working, pulling rocks from there through outside, you know. I don't know where they're putting back or, you know.
Yeah, what's going on with it exactly.
I don't know. You know, nothing, pretty much, you know.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your hard work, man. Have a good day.
Thanks.
All right. All right, you guys. We're just kind of rolling around, trying to finish the stream here. How you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. We're checking out the park with the stream.
Okay.
And just trying to do an update.
Yeah, what's been going on with it?
Well, you know, it's funded through the Measure P tax. So that fund has excess funds as far as like other funding resources. And so,
Did they run out of funds, or
I'm sorry?
did they run out of funds?
Well, the project's gone beyond the scope of work. And so, yeah, they'll probably run out of funds and ask for more because it's taking longer.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything done in like 3 or 4 months, it seems like.
Right. Do you remember before when it was the straight through concrete?
I remember, yeah.
Okay, and then would you say that when kids would put rocks in there, it would cause the flooding?
I wouldn't think that would cause flooding. I mean, maybe, I guess.
Like backup in the channel would then cause it to flood a little bit, right?
Probably, yeah.
And so, from my experience, I was out here shoveling out rocks during 2020 to clear a flood, and then they're adding more rocks without the concrete, you know, pathway. So it kind of just leads me to think it might get flooded more. So, you know, do you come to the park often, or?
Every day, yeah, we come and walk the dog.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You guys utilize the dog park?
Always, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm Chula Vista Live Data. That's what I do. It's just live. It's just as it is. And we cover government meetings, boards, and then I try to get into the street and do like little interviews with the locals and whatever the local issue is, right?
Right on.
So, but my name's Robert.
Ryan.
Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You guys have fun? Looks like you got some gloves. You guys play baseball up there too?
In Spring Valley, but yeah.
Nice. No, that's what it's about.
Awesome.
Enjoy yourself. Have a good day, you guys. All right, so you heard it from some of the locals here at Hilltop Park. And just want to thank all the staff today for doing their job. Thank all the residents for their concerns and voicing, you know, whatever they're experiencing, right? But yeah, so this is my local park. That's where I kind of come from. And so, you know, I'm just trying to put an opinion on something. This is an opinion, but we've kind of gone over that, right? And so if you have opinions or concerns, I suggest you to email the sign that I showed at the beginning of the stream and, you know, let them know how you feel about the situation. So we have, you know, like I said, everybody's got to work together at the end of the day. So the situation turns when everybody ignores things, and then we don't see the results come from it. So there's got to be someone kind of like covering the situations and just making sure everybody's staying true to their word, like honestly. And so if there's a design change on the city's part, that's something we should know as residents. If it was a design change on the contractor, that's going to be on them. So, the truth always comes out at the end of the day. So we're just trying to record the moment as it is. So, John McCann, don't cancel meetings 30 minutes before, less than 30 minutes before the meeting. That would be my press conference. There's no repercussions for that, but I get to then tell everybody about it. And we'll still do streams without them, So if you got any tips, you can email us at chillvistalivedata@gmail.com, or if you want to reach out, text or phone call, you could call us at 619-678-1442. And yeah, I'm Jdata17 across all social media. You can follow me on Substack. Just wrote an article about a art in residence and a Instagram account that in many's opinions was inappropriate, maybe even for the city to be partnering with different types of artists. I mean, we're trying to play on a level field of like, it should be for kids, it should be for adults, but from what I could see, it was a little bit of Tinder. Maybe that's a good way to put it. And, I just think if it was anyone else, right? Like if it was me, if it was the mayor, if it was board members, and they're posting content like that, becomes and like I said, your art thing is your art thing, but then to have a public facing account posting these things, not tagging the library in it, but taking pictures in the library while you're working, which then associates it with your work. I think there's more tasteful ways to do a business, kind of like I'm trying. And trust me, I'm going to cover things that you guys are going to not want to hear because it's unpopular. But there's two sides to everything, And so a lot of the news right now is one-sided in one direction, and I'm just trying to give you the live feed. So it's unedited, it is what it is. And then I'll still have my opinion to what I'm doing. So, the live feed is the live feed. So it's going to hold me accountable too, just like them. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Sorry we started a little late. I'll read off the ad one more time. Just give me a second here. It's on my Instagram for Chula Vista, and that's 619 CVLD is like the short handle. I need to stop saying FC Bayern Elite Residential Camp, June 1st through June 5th, ages 15 to 18. It says gender boys. Chula Vista Elite Athletic Training Center. And then here's the kicker. $2,250 for 5 days. So, people gotta make money, but I don't know. I don't know how many people are going to go to this. So, and like I said, I'll put it out there, whatever. It's not a big deal to let people know about events, but man, $2,000 for 5 days of elite training, I guess. Sounds like a lot of money. So, if the mayor's gonna miss his opportunity, I'll take it. I'll do it. Whatever. And yeah, there was a shooting at Islamic mosque. I don't know too much. I heard it on the radio. So, you know, we don't want anyone to get hurt. Um, that should just be obvious. But yeah, I'm sure it was a very exciting day today. So we made the best out of it. We did a Hilltop Park update. We got the city council meeting tomorrow with Jewish American Heritage celebration before. So if you get there about 4 o'clock, I think it said, there will be a heritage event before, and then probably some recognition at the meeting, I'm thinking. And then we have, for the rest of the week, we're looking at Board of Library Trustees. It's Wednesday. Board of Ethics, we'll be at that meeting. And then Veterans Advisory Commission. And those are all on Wednesday. I'm just going to my calendar. Like, I'm usually pretty good, but yeah. And Parks and Rec says there's a meeting on Thursday, but we'll have to double check that one. So, I don't know what to say. This is the end of the stream. If you're still here, like and share. We'll see you later.